Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It was a bright and blustery morning in the Cotswolds, and Jeremy Clarkson was already in a mood. Standing beside a mud-spattered Lamborghini tractor the size of a small battleship, he shoved his hands deep into the pockets of his jacket and scowled at the horizon. The sheep were misbehaving, again. The pigs had escaped, again. Caleb had forgotten to close the gate, again. And now, as he sipped a mug of scalding hot tea, brewed with the finesse of a hangover, Jeremy made the mistake of turning on the news. There they were. Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner, front and center, talking about something or other to do with farming subsidies and greener rural policy initiatives. Clarkson choked on his tea. "Oh, for heaven's sake," he muttered, wiping his chin with his sleeve. "Rayner wouldn't know a harrow from a hedgehog, and Starmer, well, he's got the charisma of a damp field." By the time the segment ended, Clarkson was halfway to his barn, muttering like a man who had just seen someone try to plow a field with a teaspoon. "That's it," he declared, storming through the hay-dusted door. "I'm saying something! They've got no clue!" Lisa peeked over her copy of The Guardian. "You're not tweeting again, are you?" "Worse," he said. "I'm writing an op-ed." And that he did. Fueled by fury, caffeine, and a questionable bacon sandwich, Jeremy pounded out a scathing article for the Sunday Times. It opened with a line so dripping in sarcasm that even the keyboard winced. Keir Starmer wants to make rural Britain greener, which is wonderful if you're a cartoon leprechaun, but utterly useless if you're trying to grow actual food in actual dirt. He didn't stop there. Angela Rayner, he continued, said farmers must embrace the future with sustainable empathy. I don't know what that means, but I'm fairly sure it's the kind of thing someone says just before they try to sell you an oat milk latte and take your land. By mid-morning, the internet had exploded. Some people were furious. Some were cheering. Most were laughing. Meanwhile, Caleb wandered into the barn mid-rant, chewing on a bit of straw. "You all right, Jezza?" he asked, peering at the furious scribbles on Clarkson's laptop screen. "I've just been listening to people who wouldn't know a silage bale from a sushi roll talk about saving the countryside," Clarkson growled. Caleb frowned. "Didn't they grow up in Manchester?" "Yes, and they should have stayed there," Jeremy said. Caleb nodded slowly, not entirely sure what was happening, but vaguely aware that Clarkson was doing that thing where he turned mild annoyance into full-blown media firestorms. By lunchtime, Jeremy's column had gone viral. The Labour Party issued a carefully worded rebuttal. Social media was ablaze with hashtags like Clarkson versus Starmer and Farmageddon. A news anchor on GB News called it a brave stand for Britain's countryside, while another on Channel 4 labeled it yet another example of Clarkson's out-of-touch arrogance. Jeremy, meanwhile, was back in the fields. He stood atop a resting combine harvester, arms outstretched, roaring into the wind like a budget King Lear. "I will not be lectured on farming by people who think barley is a type of dog." Lisa sipped her tea and watched from the fence. "He's in one of those moods again," she said to Gerald, who was trying to fix a fence post with a spoon. And so the countryside rumbled with the latest clash of politics, plows, and pure Clarkson. Whether you loved him or loathed him, one thing was clear. If Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner were planning on reshaping rural Britain, they'd have to get past Jeremy Clarkson first and maybe dodge a few flying turnips on the way.